U Sports on CBC, presented by l'U Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Veraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome to U Sports on CBC and the 2026 Miller Waste Systems U Sports Women's Hockey Championship, live from the Woolwich Memorial Centre in Elmira, Ontario. I'm Desmond Thomas alongside Brianna Newell as we get set to bring you this quarter-final match between the number 1 seed UBC Thunderbirds and the number 8 seed Carabins de Montreal. Now, the UBC Thunderbirds are the undisputed favorites entering this U Sports Women's Hockey Championship, having lost only 2 games all season long. The UBC Thunderbirds rolled through the Canada West playoffs, soaring past the Trinity Western Spartans in 2 games in the semifinals and defeating the Manitoba Bisons in 2 games as well in the Canada West final to earn them their 7th Canada West Championship banner and their 4th in the last 5 seasons. And the Carabins de Montreal finished 2nd in the RSEQ regular season standings with 28 points and went 2-3 in the RSEQ playoffs, dispatching the reigning U Sports champions Bishop Gators in 2 one-goal games, but were swept in the finals by the Concordia Stingers 2 games to none. The last time the Carabins were at Nationals in 2024, they went home with a bronze medal. As we take a look at the updated championship bracket, Guelph and Concordia have moved on to the semifinals, and Brianna will now take a look at some key players to watch in this afternoon's matchup.
And for the Montreal Carabins, number 39, Audrey-Anne Veillette, only joining the Carabins in the second half of the season, playing 11 games, garnering 10 points. A veteran that brings a tremendous amount of experience coupled with phenomenal production in both regular season and well into the playoffs. This is a lethal combination for the Carabins. And on defense, number 27, Jade Picard, a 4th-year player, RSEQ first-team All-Star, 12 points in the regular season, 3 goals, 9 assists, 5 points total in the playoffs. An integral part of this Carabin back end, who has also come in clutch with game-winning goals. Both ends of the ice will have to fall within her domain. For the UBC Thunderbirds, none other than number 26, Grace Elliott, a senior power forward, 37 points during the regular season, 24 of which were goals, looking to continue her offensive prowess this afternoon. Joined by her line mate, the second player to watch, the captain, number 19, Annalise Wong, also a senior forward, 32 points in the regular season, 27 of which were assists. Absolutely the playmaker of this top line for the Thunderbirds. Not as productive in the playoffs on the score sheet, so she's going to have to be a little bit more involved this afternoon.
What a way to kick off our second day of championship coverage. Brianna, with these 2 teams set to do battle. Coming up after the break, it's the opening face-off of the 2026 Miller Waste Systems U Sports Women's Hockey Championship on CBC.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Far better with FIG.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe, no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. The UBC Thunderbirds and the Carabins de Montreal in quarterfinal number 3. And our first of our second day of coverage, and we'll take a look at the starting goaltender for the Carabins de Montreal, Maud Desroches. 6-4 in the regular season, a .918 save percentage, a 1.84 goals against average. And on the other side of the ice, it's Elise Huggins, the kinesiology major. 4-0 in the playoffs, 16-0 in the regular season, .971 save percentage, and a .50 goals against average in the Canada West playoffs. Brianna, this is going to be an absolute treat as the 1 seed, the UBC Thunderbirds, and the 8 seed Carabins de Montreal kick us off in day 2. And right off the hop, the Carabins in on the attack, and here's Roland out of the corner, plays it back up top to the blue line. Here's Veillette. Dispossessed of the puck, and the UBC Thunderbirds will break it back up the other way. Here's Wong, the captain, looking up. And finds Elliott on the near side. Taken away from her, but the puck right into the slot. And taken back by Wong on the near side. Roland stayed right with her, and it's chipped back into the neutral zone. Zinger receives that puck right back, and Wong will chip that in and head off for a line change. Desroches. Laforge. Nervy moments in the Carabins zone as the UBC Thunderbirds are applying some good pressure in the opening minute of this quarterfinal. Up the near side. Another corner, Laloche. And taken down Salem. Looks like she tripped over a stick. But no arm up. Nice edges as the Carabins move through center ice. Gervais on the far side, but dispossessed, and Picard forced to head back into her own zone. Nice reverse pass to her defensive partner. A good outlet to a couple of high-checking UBC Thunderbirds. As the T-Birds send it all the way down the ice, and our first icing call will bring about a stoppage with 18:14 to go. No shots on goal through the first couple moments. And the faceoff will come to the right of Huggins. One back and controlled by Le Carabin, sent toward the net. And it falls into the corner. Now ranging in on goal. What a chance for the T-Birds, and staying right with it, Desroches. She got the second one too. Great chance for Rhodes in on the attack. Thorpe across top of the zone. Morris shoots, that was blocked. And she's able to track it back into the neutral zone. Morris, as that puck is chipped in. Ranging after it is Schaefer. Off the near side boards for the Carabins. Roland trying to get on it. And Wong able to steal that puck away, and now the Thunderbirds up ice. Elliott hauled down. And again, no arm up. Pumped back in by the Thunderbirds. Desroches will keep play moving. Doesn't want to face off here, Brianna.
No, but that's a smart move by DeRoche, recognizing that her team is having some good momentum, having some good pressure. She wants to keep the flow going.
And that will be another icing drawn by the Montreal Carabins.
A couple good back and forth action. There's a good opportunity that we're going to see here. A nice chip off the boards for Rhodes, in for an opportunity on DeRoche. And DeRoche doing a really good job to track the puck, come over, cut down the angle, and make that first stop. And even afterwards made a second stop as well. So DeRoche being tested early on here.
Salem sends this cross ice, set toward the net. Ricochets in front. That shot from the near side. What a chance for Jade Picard. And now pinned to the boards. Off a couple of icings early in the game from UBC. Montreal able to generate some good chances toward the net. Elliott trying to chip the puck out, and she does. And now Annalise Wong is on the surge up. Wong will shoot, and that's low and into the glove. Maud DeRoche.
Not much more that Wong could have done there by herself. It was at least 4 Carabin players against just herself, as her team had gone off on a line change, elected to just get a shot towards DeRoche, see if maybe something could get bobbled, but no chances there.
Annalise Wong, the former Fraser Valley Rush and Team BC under-18 player.
And one of our players to watch here during this
course.
matchup, and already liking what I'm seeing from her.
As that bouncing puck in front comes, and what a save, point blank by DeRoche, as Fleming was loose in the slot.
That was a huge stop coming there from DeRoche. As you mentioned, Fleming ending up a little bit lost in the fray, was able to take that shot from a good quality slot opportunity.
And now up the near side, received nicely by Etier. That goes off the leg of Thorpe. Chenot trying to find that puck. Thorpe on it here for the Thunderbirds. Baird can't handle that. And it's tracked back inside the UBC line.
It was a good job by Duchesneau in that neutral zone, cutting it off to put it right back in the UBC zone.
Baird, great work in on the forecheck around a couple of Carabins. Ledin trying to pin her to the boards, but secondary support. And spinning away Rhodes, another chance, sharp angle, feeds that in front, looking for Baird, but she couldn't connect, so she was all tied up in front. The Thunderbirds come back in, just onside. As that puck ricochets near the slot, Rhodes will poke at it and keep it in deep momentarily. Here's Ilona Markova in on the forecheck. Played in Russia for quite a few years, and we'll touch on her more and more as the broadcast goes on, because if we could have chosen 3 players as players to watch, Ilona Markova would have been the third.
She absolutely was my third option, yes.
So we get a stoppage and a whistle that will halt play. Ilona Markova, who came over halfway through the regular season, played 10 regular season games, scored 5 points in the playoffs, and played for Agidel UFA in the Zenskaya Hockey League in the Republic of Bashkortostan. I hope I said that somewhat correctly.
It sounded correct.
And a huge, huge pickup for UBC as we get another whistle off that neutral zone face-off.
Well, you can see already early in this game the speed that she brings.
And a penalty. Annalise Wong to the box for hooking.
Oh, yeah. And she tried to say, hey, I'm not doing anything. My stick is caught. And unfortunately, that's not going to fly. And so Annalise Wong heads to the box, and Carabin have an early power play opportunity.
Functioning at 16% through the regular season, they get the draw win here. Picard, top of the zone, shoots, and that goes off the block at the rebound, followed up, fought off again. Huggins standing tall right now. Played down low. The Carabin closing in, played up top to the blue line. Veillette back up top, and that shot by Picard. She healed it a bit. And it's played out by the Thunderbirds.
That was some good movement early on for the Carabin on the power play, mostly around the exterior, but had a couple of good shot opportunities. One almost looked like it went off the post or crossbar.
And now trying to take the lane is Roland. Played back to the blue line. Huygens again makes a save. Big rebound! And that goes behind the net. And Huygens able to find it off the backboards and cover up. Huge chances for the Carabins on that power play, looking dangerous.
Oh, they looked absolutely lethal, and again, good puck movement coupled with a good backhand opportunity, just not able to get it behind Huygens. And again, give credit to UBC making sure that they're doing everything they can to keep that puck out of their own net.
Off the face-off, the Carabins unable to keep the puck in. And they'll have to re-enter the zone with a minute to go in the power play. Massage plays that across. And again, sent out by UBC. Trying to weather this flurry of chances from the Carabins. Massage. On the near side for Laforge. And over the line. Head up, pass across. Laforge receives the pass, and that shot is blocked. Excellent work by Perrier, but the puck stays in. Lesage across. Salem couldn't quite handle that. Pepler trying to force that puck out, and the puck in the skates. It's finally picked up and sent down the ice. 10 seconds to go. That'll just about do it for this opening power play for Les Carabins.
That was a little bit of ping pong action that we saw just inside the offensive line for Les Carabins. But again, I like the switching that they did up at the top of the umbrella as well. It makes it a little bit confusing sometimes for the penalty killers to keep track of where they're supposed to be.
Zinger finds a hole and has some room to skate into here. Takes the outside lane and looks to play the puck in front. She'll round the goal. Plays that for Schaefer. And a Carabin got her stick in the way first. Zinger tries to play that across. It was intercepted, and the shoot-in hits the lines official. So the face-off will come outside. I think it might have hit the curved glass as well. Face-off into the neutral zone.
I like this matchup so far between these two teams. You know, sometimes people look at a matchup and they see first seed against bottom seed, and they make assumptions about how the game is going to go. And again, these two teams have never played each other because they're in totally different conferences. So the first period, a lot of times, it's very much a feeling out process.
And like we've said before, you enter this tournament already in the quarterfinals. As that's centered in front, good chance. And again, Rhodes, her third chance of the game, set that just wide. On the far side, unable to be kept alive by Sandilands, as that puck is shot out of play.
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best U Sports men's hockey teams as they face off in the 2026 U Sports University Cup presented by Steel Mazda, live from Halifax. Watch on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube with the gold medal game Sunday, March 22nd at 12 p.m. Eastern on CBC Television. U Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
So this is the Carabins' 12th time qualifying for nationals. As that's poked past, and a chance for Prue. Looked like she was hauled down. Schaefer picks up the puck.
I don't know if she was hauled down or lost her footing there, but she did a really good job poking it forward, catching Schaefer off guard and using his speed to get around. Just couldn't stay on her feet, unfortunately. It's slippery out there.
Ice tends to be. And there's another example of that. Unfortunate for Prue, who had that open net backhand chance on the power play a couple moments ago, but just sent it wide. Wong poking that forward. Berger back in her own zone. There's Ledin. Good forecheck. Fleming pinned to the boards by Berger. Sent around looking for Ledin. Down low to help out. Here's Perrier looking to center the puck and finds Zinger wide open on the near side. Zinger's shot is blocked by Roland. Great work from her to get in the shooting lane. Ledin. Fleming trying to win that back. Second line center Fleming. And a lot of good work here early for the UBC Thunderbirds.
Yeah, so far, honestly, Miles, a very even game between these two teams. They both have speed, they both have skill, they both have their goaltenders between the pipes. Desroches maybe being tested a little bit more early on here, but ice is not tilting either way at this moment so far in this game.
Both teams on the right side of the puck so far in their defensive zones as the Carabins bring that puck in another collision in the slot. Maybe a chance here, but the Thunderbirds able to clean that up as there was a big scrum in the crease in front of Huygens.
Yeah, Salem absolutely decked a UBC player. Didn't catch who it was. Bodies flying everywhere on both sides, both ends of the ice.
And you were wondering before the game, Brianna, the RSCQ, a much more physical league than Canada West, how the Carabins will be able to stock up against the Thunderbirds as the Carabins bring the puck in.
Oh, absolutely. Again, the RSCQ very much well known for their physicality. Carabins always a very, very physical team.
As that's sent into the glove of Huygens, shots even after 3, 9:14 left to go. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
When the world feels off course, Waterloo is on it. We step up to the challenge and take the lead. We add AI to the operating room to detect cancer in seconds. We invent a test that catches concussions faster. And we design AI that supports us rather than steers us. Whether it's today's challenges or tomorrow's, Waterloo is on it.
Welcome back. You're watching Youth Sports on CBC, and CBC Sports is the home of University sports in Canada. Catch the best youth sports women's hockey teams all weekend at the 2026 Miller Way Systems Youth Sports Women's Hockey Championship live from Elmira, Ontario on CBC Gem, cbcsports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. The gold medal game will be broadcasted on CBC television on Sunday, March 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern. Youth Sports on CBC, where champions are made.
To the face-off, to the right of Huygens. Contested along the wall, no score through the first half of this first period. Shots relatively even, 4 for Montreal, 3 for UBC. Markova sends that down the length of the ice, and ranging back for it is Laforge. That'll be another icing call against the Thunderbirds. I don't think we've seen Montreal ice the puck once.
I don't think so either at this point, more than halfway through the first. I just wanted to revisit what we were talking about before we stepped aside of just the physicality aspect, and noticing over the last few minutes the Carabins very much throwing their bodies around a little bit more on both ends of the ice. And when you're coming from a different conference where you're perhaps not used to as much physicality, it can absolutely play a role as UBC ices the puck again. It can absolutely play a role in how you come into this matchup, and a lot of times when you're that dominant on the offense, sometimes a way to counteract that, especially for the Carabins who's comfortable throwing the body around, is using that a little bit more, forcing UBC off the puck, forcing them off their game.
Shot right off the face-off by Veillette. Is turned aside by Huygens, and quick on the forecheck, big chance in front. Roland sends that wide as it was played in off the boards.
Good pinch there coming from Percal to keep it in the zone.
Who was lurking in the slot uncovered, and there's a big check thrown by Lorenz on Roland on the near side boards. And behind the net, Prou to the blue line. Shot over top of the net by Picard. It'll be kept in on the far side by Gervais. Veillette tries to reverse in the skates of the Thunderbirds, and it'll be just poked out by Rhodes into the neutral zone. Markova.
Oh, UBC had to be really careful as the puck was right by their bench trying to get a change in.
There's another heavy hit thrown by Prou on the near side, and that is going to be called a penalty. Huygens to the bench, and they're not going to like that was put into the empty net as Huygens left. But less of a skirmish than I anticipated to see after that. It might have been unintentional.
Yeah, that could have escalated quickly.
Yeah.
But you have Peru, as we mentioned, going to the box on this hit right on the near boards there. And it's a better angle to have a look. That's a dangerous hit on Zinger. And again, it's always the distance that the player is from the boards, and that makes it that much more dangerous, plus the fact it's right on the numbers. So Peru is in the box for 2 minutes or less, and we will have our first look at the UBC power play.
And this is a team that scores a lot of goals. Through the regular season, though, their power play not as dominant as you might expect at 19.5%. But their goal differential through the regular season, a +61. Only allowed 24 goals all season long.
Well, and they did improve their power play in the playoffs to 21.4%. Still during the regular season, though, 19.5 is pretty impressive, honestly. And on the Carabins side, for their penalty kill, operating at 86.4% during the regular season. Shot blocking, absolutely going to have to play more of a role here for the Carabins, getting in those shooting lanes.
Held at the top of the zone as Morris plays that down low. As Thorpe on the near side, Morris keeps. Look to be played across by Elliott. And behind the net for Wong. Off the boards. Fleming.
See, and this is where Carabin have to be a little bit more aggressive and get that loose puck to kill it down the ice.
As that shot comes through, it was blocked in the slot. Great work by the Carabins getting in the shooting lanes. Now Fleming switching with Grace Elliott. Rounds to the far side looking for a shooting lane. Bubbling puck in front off the back of a couple of UBC Thunderbirds. As it's still kept in at the blue line. As Morris plays that down low. Elliott will take over, then bowls over a player. We have another arm up, but another penalty upcoming.
I think it's going to be Elliott who heads to the box.
Well, Grace Elliott, 6'2", big presence on the UBC roster, pleading her case, as is Graham Thomas, head coach of the UBC Thunderbirds.
I'm not going to lie, I actually kind of agree with him, as Lesage really was just caught in the crossfire of Grace Elliott as she was continuing on her route she was already on. It was a collision, but the fact that she stands at 6'2" and towers over Lesage made it look worse than it actually was. So I don't agree with that, but regardless, Elliott is in the box.
4-on-4 hockey. A double minor is the call. So a huge chance for Montreal after the 4-on-4 expires.
Oh, nice escape there coming from Les Carabins.
Gervais up the far side around Rhodes. And now a power play for 3.5 minutes for the Montreal Carabins. A huge chance to break the ice in this quarterfinal.
No, and you have to at this point against a team like UBC.
Oh, what a pass, what a chance, fought off by Huygens. It's Yate sneaking down the near side. And UBC will pick that puck up and send it high, but too high. Not over the glass, but into the bench. So they won't.
We're going to have another look at ATA's chance by herself all alone. A nice cross-seam pass and tried to go across body on Huygens, but Huygens doing a great job tracking, coming out, cutting down the angle and making that stop.
Face-off will come to her left. Salem will line up in the face-off circle. The Montreal native. Admin major. 7 goals, 5 assists for 12 points in the regular season for Léa Salem, and she wins the face-off back. Carabin control. Still 3 minutes to work with on the power play. Here's Lesage. Back up top to the blue line. Laforge. Down low, cross-ice feed looking for Salem, and she couldn't find the handle. Salem on the puck now off the wall. On the far side, played down low. Like Carabin looking to crash the net. Shot from the blue line, tipped on goal. Huygens makes the save, and Laloche couldn't connect on the rebound. Lesage along the boards, tied up by a couple of Thunderbirds. Hacking and whacking by a Healy, trying to extricate that puck.
See, this is where, again, this puck squeaked through now, but there has to be more of an urgency on the Carabins side to retrieve that loose puck on this power play.
And that'll come right to Laforge in the slot, and it's turned over. What an effort to clear that puck down the ice by Maya Healy.
You know, and that's the type of efforts that you need during a quarterfinal matchup such as this. Shot blocks are important, but that extra effort, you can't replace the importance of that as this penalty kill goes to work on the forecheck.
Perrier doing a great job being fended off, but only just as Duchesneau brings the puck in over the line. Veillette falls down along the near side boards. Duchesneau in there trying to fish the puck out. Prue waiting for it, but can't pinch, and it's cleared down the ice by UBC.
And again, Perrier right there on that forecheck, but UBC doing a much better job of making sure that they have secondary and even third individual support when it comes to the puck battles, and Carabin just not doing a good enough job of having bodies in there, having numbers to retrieve the loose puck. That's one of the biggest aspects of being successful on the power play, is how well you can retrieve the puck.
And they've only now a minute 10 to work with. Veillette brings the puck back in over the line, sends it cross ice. Nice move to protect it from Roland. Prue crisscrossing here, down low, back up top. Here's Prue. Prue has that sharp angle pass attempt from Veillette. She got tied up by Thorpe, pardon me. And sent out again, but quickly on the attack again. UBC back short-handed now, and a chance for Sandilands trying to drag that through the legs. Sandilands backhand! Ooh. And a good glove save made by Desroches.
Good save, but those were some silky bits on Sandilands there that she demonstrated. Some good speed, not being cautious by any means, and just going for that nifty little move between the legs, and a nice backhand on Desroches that she was square to.
And to force an offensive zone face-off on the PK. But the Montreal Carabins win this face-off and are quickly back into the attacking zone. 20 seconds left on the double minor to Grace Elliott. On the near side boards, Baird plays that around. Trying to spin away from pressure is Wiebe. Sent to the line, but not out. Laforge, one last chance on the power play. Laforge waits, and that was stopped by Zinger. In front of the net. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Grace Elliott out of the box. And on the attack here on the far side. Elliott tries to drag that through. It was disrupted by Laforge. Played back to the blue line. Looking for a tip. Elliott's there. And that is blocked in front. Over the line is Juan. On the near side. Tries to send that through. Big rebound, but cleared up by Couture. That's exactly what you need. Secondary support in the slot.
And Couture definitely in good positioning there to clean up that garbage in front of her netminder. It was a good job there, because that could have been a wide open batting home goal.
A minute 30 to go in this fast-paced first period. As it's sent in by Schaefer. Desroches leaves that for Ledin. Watched by Rhodes, giving Ledin something to think about. As Ledin hits the red line and sends it in. Here's Morris. Long lead pass, looking to connect with Markova. Looked like she was there, but icing the call, and Markova going at it with Couture after the whistle.
That was a tight foot race, but it did look like Markova had that front step. As we're having another look, they're very even. That's a close one, that's for sure. It's getting a little chippy, eh? A little bit of bumps after the whistle, a little how you doing.
Yep, 100%, and I think that's started by Les Carabins, the more physical of the two teams, but
I like the response. Yeah,
yep.
Exactly. They're rising up to it. They're not backing down, and so that's nice to see as well coming from the Thunderbirds.
Here's Ledin. Less than a minute to go in the opening period. Still no score between Les Carabins and the Thunderbirds, as that's sent in by Veillette. Veillette. Below the goal line, battling for the puck in the corner is Prue. And the Thunderbirds with 20 seconds left. Maybe a chance for one last play down the ice. That goes off the skates of Markova. Sent in by Picard. 10 seconds to go in the period. Lifted high off the glass by Zinger. And at center will be put back in by Picard. And that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes of play between Le Carabins de Montréal and the UBC Thunderbirds. They'll go to the dressing room tied at no score, but a lot of chances that emerged in that first period. The goaltender sharp.
It was a really fun 20 minutes of hockey. Again, very even between these two teams, which you might not always expect when you see a first seed against an 8th seed, but both goaltenders doing what they need to do between the pipes. And Desroches tested a little bit earlier on, I would say, but some nervy moments coming on the power play opportunity for the netminder for UBC, Huygens, but both of them, like I said, standing really tall.
And for Maud Desroches, didn't have the best numbers in the playoffs. It was 2-3 record of the Carabins de Montréal, going 2-3, getting RSAQ silver, but through the regular season, a 6-4 record, .918 save percentage, and when everything's on the line, she's been solid.
Well, and at the end of the day, too, this isn't a series. It's just one game. So it's almost like a new season in and of itself. So
send it down now to Carissa Duncan, who was interviewing Annalise Wong, number 19 on the UBC Thunderbirds, one of our players to watch, Bria.
Annalise, what would you like to see your team do differently heading into the second period?
I think just settling into it. I think we settled into it the first there. Our compete was really good, so I think just, we have more time than we think, so I think just holding on to the puck, but we settled in nice, so yeah.
Yeah, Montreal is a physical team, obviously a team you've seen before at Nationals, but how do you prepare for that physicality?
I think just expecting the hits, expecting that we won't get the calls, it'll go both ways, but I think just pre-scanning before we get the puck and just preparing for the hits, but also using our speed to get around them.
And I know you're a veteran team. You've been to Nationals a number of times and, very eager to get it done. What does this team mean to you, and what would it mean to win a national championship?
Yeah, this team means everything. We're really a family in there. We all love each other a lot, and it's just it's been a really fun 5 years, so winning Nationals, it would mean everything. And, yeah, we'll put our hearts on the line this weekend for it.
And just a last one for you, Annalise. The momentum that you get from killing off that double minor at the end of that period, what was the vibe on the bench after that?
Just, control what we could control and stay calm and just, play hard and play for each other. And the PK did great getting it done, so I think, that's good momentum going into the second year.
Best of luck in the rest of the game.
Thank you.
That was Carissa Duncan with Annalise Wong, the captain of the UBC Thunderbirds, 5 points back of Grace Elliott for the Canada West scoring title, 27 assists, the assists leader for the UBC Thunderbirds in this game. And control what we can control. Not only a good lesson for a sports team, but a good life lesson overall.
Absolutely, and I really liked how she mentioned, expecting the physicality. Basically, they know that it's coming, but how are they going to counteract it? Know that it's coming, pre-scan the area, being aware of your surroundings, and using their speed. And we saw Wong actually doing it during that first period, making sure she turned back. She used her speed to get around the Carabin players. So, she's walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
And Wong playing on that top line with Elliott, Schaefer. Those are some excellent, she's an amazing company, and she is that driving force on that line, allowing for Grace Elliott to hit all those scoring markers, and she's the one feeding Elliott for the majority of those goals. It's no score after the opening period. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, territoire du Nord-Ouest. Le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur icitout.tv.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
At AMI Attachments, we say, it's not a job, it's a performance. That means the details matter to us. It means when we do the little things right, they add up. It's why product development never stops. This is our headquarters. It's home base for everything engineering and product design to automation, fabrication, assembly, and shipping.
Hey you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. No score after the opening 20 minutes of play. There's Elise Huggins earning a much-needed rest after a lot of sharp saves through that first period. So it's time now to learn a little bit about the stories of the student athletes competing in this year's Women's Hockey Championship. And we're going to learn a little bit about Audrey-Anne Veillette, one of 3 7-goal scorers this season. Much-needed addition, added halfway through the season. So here is 2 minutes with Audrey-Anne Veillette.
Hi, my name is Audrey-Anne Veillette. I'm a winger and I play for the Carabins of Université of Montreal. My journey began in Drummondville. I grew up there, so I spent my minor hockey in there, and then I played for Limoilou Cégep, and then came to the University of Montreal. There was a big sense of family, so I was attracted to that value, and I think all my team are my friends now, so I think that's why I chose the team. And also, it's a good school. I think just to have fun, to be with my friends every day and work hard, be the best version that I can be as a person, as a player. So yeah, I think I have fun and work hard. I'm currently studying in managing and organization. I did a degree in kinesiology, and then now I'm doing completely a different degree. It's the biggest tournament of the year. We've been preparing all year for this tournament, so I think we're ready for it, and we're just gonna go out there and have fun. For being cut from the Montreal Victoire, I think that was a huge one, but it turned out pretty good for me this year. I think it's the best scenario that could have happened, to be with my team, my old team back, and I'm really happy to be here. It's awesome. I've been watching it since I was younger, and I just dreamed to be a hockey player and to play at a higher level, and work here now. So I think we can inspire the younger generation that's a good goal. Success means that you're happy to be where you are, and you're happy, you work hard, you're in the present moment, and you enjoy every day. I think that's the success, that's the definition of success.
That was 2 minutes with Audrey-Anne Veillette. Coming up after the break, it's the second period of play. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble, avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey.
Qui finalement décroche un tir.
Parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent.
1, 2, 3, Canada!
Ensemble, vers l'avant.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
This isn't about just showing up. It's about what you're willing to give. It's about being a part of something bigger than yourself. The work that matters, it happens long before anyone's watching. But it's never done alone. And when it gets hard, this team's behind you. Because the biggest victories, they're the ones that we earn together.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan.
A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family-owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
U Sports on CBC, presented by L'U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike. Fox 40, Thunderbird Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. The kids are loving it here in Elmira, Ontario, but I think they'd like a couple more goals. Brianna, no score. The Carabins de Montreal and the UBC Thunderbirds. Here are some of the highlights from the first period of play.
So looking at the penalty that Grace Elliott took for that double minor that gave Les Carabins the opportunity on the power play, extended some cross-seam passes that ended up with some good opportunities that Huggins shut the door on. UBC doing a good job with the secondary support, outnumbering Les Carabins for loose puck retrieval. That's going to have to be a key for Les Carabins to make sure that they change during the second period. And we saw second effort there by Healy.
So some stats after 20 minutes of play. Shots relatively even, 8-6 in favor of the UBC Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds also getting in the shooting lanes, 5-2. And face-off wins 14-3 in favor of Montreal. We're going to send it down now to Carissa Duncan with Isabelle Leclerc.
I'm here with Isabelle Leclerc of the Montreal Carabins. Isabelle, what did you like about your team's first period and what didn't you like?
I liked the energy. I liked our start. I really liked our power play. We really controlled that puck. We managed to put good shots on the net. We had those rebounds. Quite couldn't put our stick on it, but I think we're doing the good things and we're going to make the small adjustments that we need to make. The nerves are gone now, so I think we can play our game.
You know, you beat this team at Nationals a couple of years ago. What makes them so difficult to play against?
It's just a complete different style than what we're used to in our SCQ, a lot more physical. Obviously, they're big. I think they have depth in their lineup, so it's always a great competition. But at least we know we can beat them. So.
And just a last one for you, Adrienne Vayette, obviously a huge addition to your program midway through this season. Obviously no stranger to your program as well. What has she brought?
Well, she brings experience. She brought a lot of depth to our lineup, and we also got Lorianetti, a number 10 back, so it really helped all across the lineup, and she's so positive. She just, I think she got the love of the game back, and it shows in the way she plays and how she is in the dressing room.
Best of luck in the rest of the game.
Thank you very much.
Good interview with the coach of the Montreal Carabins, Isabelle Leclerc, in her 18th season with the Carabins, has been with the Carabins since the club's inception in 2008. Over 20 years of experience coaching and recognizing the differences between the two leagues.
Absolutely recognizing the differences, but also really falling back on what her team does so well and what she really liked from Les Carabins during that first 20 minutes of play. Loved the power play, and it did look very good. We talked about it as well, the energy, getting good shots on Huggins, testing her early on, and making those sound very small, minor adjustments. Again, different style of play than what they're used to, but now that 20 minutes have come and gone, very much out with the jitters, in with settling into the game and just playing their game Carabin style.
So out of the face-off circle, it'll be Prou up against Schaefer, and we're back underway in the second period of play. These two teams looking for the opening goal of the game. As it's sent over, Wong. Schaefer will backhand that puck in for Grace Elliott, who stands at 6'2" and bowls over another player. And as Wong touches up, looks like we're having another penalty. Or perhaps not, just a hand pass call, Brianna.
Yeah, as we're looking, it's always hard to tell sometimes. You know, we don't always get those memos. It did look like it was going to be another penalty for Elliott, which would have been a blow for the Thunderbirds, but false alarm there.
And Elliott receives this pass from her knees, will fire that on. It was blocked and never got through to the intended target. Lafoche in on the near side. A rung around the boards where Annalise Wong will send that puck out. Grace Elliott digging for that puck along the boards. Ethier, who had an excellent look on the power play in that first period. Will bring it in over the line. Doing it all herself right now. Swings that around. Chenot in the corner. Up against Carmen. And she digs for the puck. 2-on-2 along the boards. Finally comes loose. Nearly came to Roland. And back to the blue line, it'll float. Pushed in by Gervais. Carmen. Near side boards, and Baird will send that puck out. Now Fleming dashing through the neutral zone on the far side now. Fleming hit hard into the boards. Puck will be picked up by Perrier. So back to where Fleming is, and she's dispossessed. Excellent work by Picard. At the blue line, plays kept alive by Carmen. And Gervais will use the net as a foil and send the puck down the ice. Oh, nice move into space. Sandilands, a step here, fires that on. Just goes past the post, ricochets to the near side boards. Sandilands looking to backhand that in front for Alona Markova. He'd snuck into the slot. Now pulls that back to the blue line, but that pass too hot to handle, and that's forced out. Here's Veillet. Off the boards. Lorenz unable to keep the puck in the zone, and Veillet trying to win that back at center ice. Sandilands there as well, and Prue will help out and play that forward for Roland. On the near side with Veillet, going to the far side. Veillet, maybe a chance on the rebound. It'll come back to the boards. Up top, Berger. Across, that shot into the glove from Le Dain.
Fans, U Sports wants to hear from you about your viewing experience. Visit usportsfans.ca or click the QR code on the screen to join our fan advisory panel. Tell us about yourself and help shape future U Sports Championship broadcasts by giving us your feedback for your chance to win U Sports prizes. Join the U Sports fan panel at usportsfans.ca.
Face-offs were lopsided in favor of Montreal in the first period, but it's won back in their own zone by the UBC Thunderbirds, and now some space to work up ice. Here's Morris, drops that back, but a bit off the mark. Elliott will regather it and play it to Wong. Off the boards. Down low, Schaefer. In front, looking for Elliott. And that was poked past, and now back the other way come the Carabins. Leloche lifts that into the near corner. Played around. And Thorpe tries to get the puck out. Can't do it. Schaefer. Good secondary support along the boards in her defensive zone. And Morris will play that calmly to Elliott. Here's Wong over the line. Watched by Laforge. Wong will have to contest for the puck in the corner. Sends it around. Etier. And cleaned back up by Les Carabins. Off the boards, but not cleared. There's more pressure coming in waves from UBC, and shrugging off that check was Laforge. In over the blue line with some good speed. Trips. And she goes down below the goal line, and Zinger. 4-on-4 battle in the corner. Fleming tries to get that puck out. Duchesneau, nice move around Carmen. Duchesneau walks in, scores! What a shot from Chloé Duchesneau, and it's 1-0 for Montreal.
That was an absolutely phenomenal play by Duchesneau. Again, coming down to pinch, is able to keep it in past not one, but two, three UBC players, and then goes top shelf over Hugon to open up this scoring in this hockey game and give the Carabins a lead 1-0.
Chloé Duchesneau, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points in the regular season. Played all 5 games in the playoffs, registering no points, and here the biggest goal of her season. And for the Carabins, they have the lead in this quarterfinal over the far and out favorites in this tournament.
Well, and again, it could have been a very innocent play. UBC just not able to clear the puck, and that just goes to show the importance of making sure that you bear down, you get the puck out of your zone on that first try.
Now Markova back in for the Thunderbirds, looking to respond, but that pass will force Pepler out of the zone. Back up the near side, Etier receives that pass nicely. What a chance in front, scores! 2-0 for Montreal. Montour streaking in the middle.
And again, great patience shown by Etier, and Montour ends up completely lost in the fray as it was Sandilands who did not pick her up and was wide open. So missed assignment turns into a second goal for Les Carabins to beat Huygens once again and take a 2-0 lead. This is an incredible second period so far for Les Carabins.
What a start, and here they come again, and 2 goals from players who you wouldn't really expect. They have 3 players on the roster who've scored 7 goals, and they have a couple that came in halfway through and have scored a lot of points. But for Montour, 4 points in the regular season.
But you know what? It was Etier who assisted on that Montour goal, and it goes back to what head coach Leclerc had talked about and bringing Veillette back to the program, back to this group of players, how Etier was able to elevate her game as well. And that was a prime example of it.
What a chance, Veillette trying to test sharp angle, and Huygens will say, I don't want a third to go past me at the moment.
And that last goal you saw was so nice. We're gonna take a second look. A nice stretch pass up to Etier, taking her time, waiting for that support, and it comes in the form of Montour beating Sandilands towards the net, corrals the puck, and makes no mistake to beat Huygens.
Another face-off won by Montreal in the attacking zone. Zinger will extricate the puck though for UBC. Just offside as they came in over the line. There's Weeb, step ahead of the play. 14:05 left to go.
I almost would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the locker room for Les Carabins, because head coach Leclerc was talking about, you know, those minor adjustments that they had made. Well, whatever adjustments they made, they obviously worked here. We're just at about 6 minutes into this second period. So UBC has to find a way to respond and respond fast.
And these are 2 seasoned coaches going at it. Graham Thomas for UBC in his 14th season, but 4 years his senior coaching with her program. Isabelle Leclerc, 18 years.
Well, there's almost something freeing as well coming into this matchup playing as the underdog team. You don't have that same pressure, that same sense or chip on your shoulder necessarily. So it's a little bit freeing as well to play like that.
Weed in the attacking zone, and that shot looking for a tip, but everybody was blowing away past the net. And now Les Carabins back on the attack. Etier, nice move around Carmen. What a pass into the middle, but that's cleaned up at the last second by Lorenz, and now back the other way. Here's Perrier. Away from Gervais. Perrier still on it. Backhand toward the net. She'll get the third chance and shoot. That was blocked again. Unable to clear though are the Carabins. Here's Baird. Plays that down low into the corner. Fleming can't handle it. Back around. Top of the point, it'll be kept in. But not for long as that shot was blocked. And the Thunderbirds back out at center. Fresh off the bench. And
that's going to be too many.
Our first too many women on the ice penalty in this tournament. Oh. As going down to the ice was Gervais.
Almost took a lineswoman with her too. Yeah, Isabelle Leclerc getting a bit of an explanation, but that is absolutely too many players on the ice as it was played. I think it was Etier who was going off, didn't quite see who was coming on, and so it is going to be a penalty for Les Carabins. We're gonna have another look here. The puck was on the boards. That's always a nervy time to go and make a change. So you see the Carabin player come on. Etier was still on the ice though, hadn't gone off yet, and the puck had been played. So that is why the Carabin have a penalty, and UBC has an opportunity to break the stalemate a little bit here and at least start with one.
And here's Thorpe. She'll round the near side as Wong up top. Wong Morris. Wide open on the far side. Thorpe. Down low with Elliott. And over the goal line, Elliott shoots. That's fought off. Big rebound. Elliott trying to hack at the rebound. That was cleared away from her at the last second by Le Carabins.
It was a good time to go and get that clear. Elliott, a very dangerous player that you don't want to give any opportunities to. And UBC just on that last look in the offensive zone, they have to get themselves moving a little bit more and stop trying to take those wide external shots on Duchesne. Excuse me, DeRoche.
Wong battling for the puck, and she does get it to Elliott, and it'll fall here. A slap shot is blocked. Morris wound up for that one, and I think it hit Elliott.
Oh, it absolutely did. She looks to be in some discomfort as she makes her way back to her feet.
That's exactly what you don't want to see if you're UBC, your top goal scorer, hit with friendly fire. But now Markova into the zone with some good speed. Spinning away in the corner. Trying to find a passing option as it's swatted around the far side. Back up top to the blue line. Sandilands. They'll get it back. And again, 8 times on the far side. Nice move to the middle. Sandilands still on it. Duchesneau stripped that away from her, and the puck cleared out by Laforge. Short-handed up the ice. Here's Dion. Trying to win that away from Zinger, but Zinger carries it in over the line. Still going on this power play. 10 seconds left to work with for UBC.
That'll pretty much do it there for the power play opportunity. Didn't look very threatening, to be honest with you, Desmond. Not a lot of shots going towards the net. Le Carabins doing a very good job getting in the shooting lanes, getting the clears when they had the opportunities to do so, not getting hemmed in their zone, and also making sure that they were more aggressive on the PK, giving less time and space to the UBC players.
And after taking that hard slap shot from Jalen Morris, Grace Elliott down the tunnel to the locker room. You hope that she's able to get back into this game. It looked like she might have been favoring her knee, but that's brought in by Baird. It's poked off her stick and back the other way. Here's Salem. Salem still going, is stripped of her. And Baird will poke that into the neutral zone. Salem on the near side, up against Baird. Carmen, cross ice feed, goes right back to Montreal. Some ping pong action with the puck. And UBC gain the red line and send that down the ice. Deroche out behind her net to stop that. With under 10 to go in the second period of play. 2 quick goals scored by Le Carabins. And now on the far side, oh, look out, that could have been dangerous for Wong, and now a chance. Here's Perrier, sharp angle, and there is Deroche able to swallow that up. Grace Elliott feeling the effects of this slap shot from Morris. We hope that she's able to rejoin the game. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family-owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
Welcome back inside the Woolwich Memorial Center. Grace Elliott a couple moments ago testing out that leg after taking that hard slap shot from her teammate, Jalen Morris. And Elliott rejoining the UBC Thunderbirds on the bench. Just a stinger. Brianna had to walk it off.
No, absolutely. And sometimes that happens. You know, it gets you in an awkward spot. There's no padding. It's better to be safe than sorry. Take those extra couple minutes in private, walk it out, get it working, and then being able to rejoin the team. So that's good news for the Thunderbirds.
Surely Graham Thomas happy to see his leading goal scorer rejoin their teammates on the bench. That backhand rebound chance, Markova. Sharp angle, fought off by Deroche. Markova again below the goal line. Sandelin's unable to win the puck back. And it'll be walked out by Lesage. Nervous moments. What a chance at the blue line, and it just is kept on side. Morris will pick it off the wall. Hustled by Veillette. Markova has Rhodes in the middle. Sandelins plays that around. Back to the blue line, kept by Morris. Nice move to the inside. Markova toward the net, and down is Deroche. Able to stop that with Sandelins on the doorstep. Mixing it up a little bit.
Trying to get something going there. A nice pass by Morris to Markova, and Deroche having to be very sharp as there were a couple bodies trying to take away her eyes right in front of her.
Deroche good for 12 shots again so far in this game. As Elliott back on the ice, that top line will go to work. As they contest for this face-off on the near side boards. Elliott hacking away with it. Schaefer tries to send that around for Wong. Picard sends that puck out. Schaefer, a whack at it. Zinger, pardon me. And now back in Elliott. Below the goal line. Gervais fends her off very neatly and will break up through the middle of the ice. On the near side is Laloche. Laloche into the middle. What a chance, and Gervais all tied up as she hits the ice. Over the line, Weeb. His fourth line out there, forechecking for the UBC Thunderbirds. With Healy, Buckley, and Weeb. Oh, and crashing hard into the boards was Weeb.
Looked like she lost an edge there. She tumbled herself into the boards.
Lorenz up the near side. She'll swing that back across to Pepler, who has to hurry with Couture racing toward her. Hard cross ice pass collected by Buckley. Ledin. And Berger is the UBC Thunderbirds. Good pressure in the attacking zone against Montreal. Be spurred on from seeing Grace Elliott rejoin them on the bench. Here's Perrier out of the corner. Perrier trying to center that puck. Plays it across where Thorpe will gather it up. Below the goal line. Fleming. Pinned to the boards by Berger Ledin. In to help out, and Baird as well. Now 6 players scrum along the boards for that puck. And it finally pops loose to Perrier, who's checked along the boards and hits the ice.
That was a good job by Ledin, making sure that she was on the defensive side, close but not too close, so she was able to pick up that body. And there's been some bodies being thrown here in the corners. Fans on both sides not happy with the lack of these calls. And there's an extra couple
and a couple cross checks, and it's getting very feisty here in front of Deroche. Referee has her arm up, so there's going to be at least one.
Wait to see who it is that's going to be headed to the box. She's going to take another look at what kind of spurred this on. It was a wide-angle shot, and it seemed like it was Perrier heading towards Deroche, and the Carabins did not like the intent of that, and no one touches your goaltender. That's what you're taught as a defense from a very young age. And so it's going to be Couture that's heading to the box. I think it's just Couture. It's probably for that high late cross check sort of afterwards, so it makes sense. But interesting that it's only the one.
To try to settle it down maybe, and now a chance back the other way. Short-handed for Montreal, and stoned is Roland. And that was a huge save from Huygens, and one that she had to make. And cleared down the ice again by the Carabins. Good start to this PK. And a whistle on the play. With a minute 38 left to go in the power play.
He's going to head into the UBC zone just to the left of Huggins. And I mean, for Lake Carabin, this is a beautiful thing to have an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, played with a high stick. There we go. And clarity is restored.
So UBC is going to have to work their way back into Lake Carabin zone and try to get something set up here, as it's Markova who brings it in herself.
That pass goes off the stick of Jeffé. On the near side, Markova unable to clear that puck out. Markova back to Zinger. Through the neutral zone. Nice move from Zinger to gain the line. Zinger dispossessed, and it's cleared down the ice again, and now a race for the puck. Duchesneau had a good angle to it from Sandilands. Under a minute to go in this power play for UBC.
It seems like the adjustment that Carabin have made that it's been most noticeable, excuse me, at least to me, is that they're closing down a lot quicker on the puck carrier.
Out of the corner, Lesage will send that down the ice again, and Zinger thought about changing. She couldn't do it because Dion has a chance now shorthanded, but it rolled off her stick at the last second. And then his cross check to the ice, and that puck will float back inside the Montreal line. Laforge hassled by Wong. Great forecheck by Annalise Wong, and now Elliott on it here. Center pass in front, great save by Dedoche. Point blank on the PK, your goalie has to be the best. And Morris sends that through, tip, scores! In front, Grace Elliott, and it's 2-1.
For the most part, UBC almost looked a little bit discombobulated on that power play. Lake Carabin having some really good clears, but UBC able to get it into the Carabin zone, get things moving. Morris with a really great play. Didn't elect to go straight for the shot. Recognized that she had Elliott through the middle. Elliott with her stick on the ice, ready to tip that puck. It was a hard pass that she was able to redirect to beat Desroches.
And for Grace Elliott, taking that friendly fire slap shot to the knee, testing it out, coming back out onto the ice, and down 2-0. You needed your top scorer to be your best player, as after that center ice face-off, they'll dust it up again. This time close to Huggins. And it'll be a face-off for Montreal in the attacking zone.
And you can see just moments before, right after the goal had been scored, head coach Isabelle Leclerc for Lake Carabin just trying to maintain positivity on the bench, get everyone still on the same page, get going. You have to have a short memory in moments like this and be able to come back and respond.
At the blue line, that shot sifted through, not stopped cleanly by Huggins, but nonetheless the puck will be brought back out the other way. Rhodes drops it, here's Sandilands shooting, and that's fought off by Dedoche. Rhodes spinning back with the puck, still on it, shoots, tight angle, Markova on the back door. Carmen again, and that dribbles through the blue paint as it was tipped inadvertently by a Montreal player. And now Le Carabin will bring it back the other way, end-to-end action after the 2-1 goal. Carmen back in front of her own net. Good wheels to pull the puck out to center ice. And dumps it in, but from the wrong side of the red line. So that UBC line will have to stay out there and fend off another face-off, and Montreal has been dominant in that category this afternoon.
And it seems like the Thunderbirds are playing with renewed life after that Grace Elliott goal, and why not? You're one goal behind as opposed to two. You got your wind in your sails, and they just look like they're playing with a little bit extra heart right now.
Off the face-off, Dion shot has blocked the rebound by Lesage, is whiffed on as she tried the one-timer. And that's sent back out by UBC. Lesage in her own zone, watched very closely by Baird, and it's poke checked Excellent work by Perrier along the near side boards. Perrier pulls that puck to the middle and now lays off for Baird. On her backhand, protecting the puck away from Duchesneau. Perrier, head up, pass to the blue line across to Thorpe. Shooting high and off the end boards. It'll bounce to Perrier again. Back to Morris at the blue line. Morris will try the other side as she rings it around the boards. Thorpe has to come down a pinch and does so successfully. And she'll continue on below the goal line. Thorpe, the defender, doing good work down low in the dirty areas below the net, but at the blue line, the Thunderbirds will keep that play alive, if only momentarily. The Carabins in possession, flip it to the line and just squeak it out. The Thunderbirds really surging here after the 2-1 goal.
Well, and that clear that the Carabins had was just not enough. In this second period, you have that long change coming into effect, so it did not go far enough for any of the 5 players to get a change in, and you can tell they are dogged out there right now.
Wong finds that puck in the corner. Plays up top to the blue line. Back to Wong. Right circle. Shooting. That shot got blocked. Back to the blue line. Here's Carmen on the near side. Fakes the slap shot. Plays down low. Carmen again. Back across to Zinger. Zinger's shot goes off the glass and bounces to the boards below the goal line. Now Elliott. This top line trying to get to work and tie this game up before the end of the period. Here's Elliott. Sifting that in front. That was disrupted by Le Carabin and shot right into the bench. So 59.6 to go in the period. We'll get another face-off that Montreal has been dominant on all game long. 22-10, the face-off victories.
Well, and again, it takes all 5 players on the ice to win a face-off, and Montreal doing something right as they've been quite dominant. They were lucky to get out of that shift unscathed as they had an extremely tired group for an extended period of time out there. Still in their zone as we speak, but with fresh troops this time.
And turned over in the slot. A chance to tie the game, just sent wide. Might have ticked off the stick of Duchesneau. Pardon me, of Desroches. Here's Ledin. Up the far side. Thorpe watching that closely. In the neutral zone, she'll get it back. 30 seconds left in the period. Thorpe trying to play that in. Squeezed along the boards. And Thorpe just keeps that in. Onside are the Thunderbirds, but it'll be played to Roland. And out through the middle of the ice. A chance to break through for Veillette. And Thorpe coming over to steal that away, and a penalty upcoming at the blue line as down on the ice is Sandilands.
It looks like it's going to be Roland heading to the box for a penalty as there's a conversation happening with the officials. We'll have another look at what happened, but Sandilands' legs were completely taken out from under her as Roland was heading back the other way, and just that last turnover heading over for an opportunity that UBC was unable to capitalize on.
So only 10 seconds left to go in the period. More than likely will be a carryover into the third, unless they can work some late period magic here. But the face-off is controlled by the Carabins, and that'll eat the remaining seconds of this second period of play as they try to get a shorthanded break going. It would have been a 2-on-1, so UBC happy to hear the buzzer sound. What an exciting second period of play, Brianna. The first one with no goals was exciting enough, but 2 quick ones from the Carabins to open up the scoring, make it 2-0. And then that response from UBC's Grace Elliott coming back from the tunnel, rejoining her teammates on the bench. And you felt the energy lift after that as well for UBC.
Oh, you felt the momentum absolutely shift. The Carabins seemed like they were in complete control for most of that second period, again with those 2 quick goals to put them up 2-0. UBC not ready to take that lying down though, as Morris had made a really heads-up play, had her head up the entire time, and elected, instead of shooting it on net, to find her teammate Grace Elliott to tap it in. And with that, we're going to hand it over to Carissa Donkin with Chloe Duchesneau.
Chloe, 1-goal lead, going into the third period, some tense moments at the end of that period. What does your team need to do in the third?
We need to follow the plan, keep an F3 because they have good forward and follow the plan and play defense.
Yeah, and you opened the scoring, in this period, quick goal right after. What kind of momentum did that give you on the bench?
Just to calm the stress a little bit, and that's it. The goal give us confiance, and yeah.
Yeah, and you faced this team before, obviously, at Nationals. Anything you learned from that experience that helped you prepare for this game?
Yeah, we faced them like many years ago, and we know how they play, and we know what to do, so yeah.
Best of luck in the rest of the game.
Thanks.
That was Carissa Duncan with Chloe Duchesneau, number 25 of the Montréal Carabins, who opened the scoring at 4:23 of the second period, and it was 2 quick goals for the Carabins de Montréal. One at 4:23, that was Duchesneau, unassisted, and then at 4:59, the goals from Jenna Montor, assisted by Lauriane Etier. Audrey Gervais getting the second assist, and not to be outdone, the UBC Thunderbirds coming back, making it a tight contest. Grace Elliott assisted by Jalen Morris at 15:56 of the second period, and Montreal's Chloe Duchesneau saying we've got to stick to the plan.
Oh, and that's just it, right? It's no cause for panic, and that's why you saw head coach Isabelle Leclerc settling the troops down on the bench, making sure that panic did not ensue, did not take over. You follow the plan. I like how Duchesneau mentioned you got to keep an F3 high because they know that there's a lot of depth and a lot of threats on the UBC end. So they have to make sure that they're keeping that in mind. And with that, we will be back later for third period action. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Across Canada, it starts the same way. A love for the game that unites us all. From hometown rinks to the world stage, we rise together. Every stride, every save, every dream, shared by every girl who's ever picked up a stick.
It's her shot, rebound in front, she scores!
Because when one rises, we all rise. Rise as one.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
I have a degree in meteorology.
I am a licensed electrician.
I went to veterinary school.
Life might not care who you are, but we do. Grads and professionals can save more. Just one of many ways TD Insurance helps you save. It's how we're making insurance more human.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family-owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
Welcome back to U Sports on CBC. Elise Hugens, same juice box, but different scoreline. After the second period of play, allowed 2 goals in that second period in quick succession. Her team got a goal back. It's 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. Annalise Wong, the captain of the UBC Thunderbirds, has been a dominant presence in this afternoon's game. And it's time now to learn a little bit more about the stories of her life and what shapes her as a student athlete. Annalise Wong, the first team All-Star in 2025-26. Here's 2 minutes with Annalise Wong.
My name is Annalise Wong. I play on the UBC women's hockey team. My hockey journey began when I was 5 years old because I've watched my brothers play, so I also wanted to play hockey. I think I fell in love with hockey just being around the ice and skating around and just having fun with my friends really was when I really started playing hockey, and being able to compete towards championships and games is where my love for the game really began. I would say I'm pretty competitive, yeah. I like to win, yeah. As a player, I'd say I'm a 200-foot player. I can play in the offensive zone and the defensive zone, and I'm a dependable player. No, I actually played defense until my first year at UBC, and then Graham moved me to forward. So it was really, I think, only the past 5 years I've been a forward, just at UBC. It was tough a little bit at first, but I think from going from defense to forward is easier just because you can see the game more and you've gotten kind of good at like making little passes and making passes like that. So it helps with the playmaking ability and all that. I'd say the biggest challenge is probably just confidence and learning how to believe in myself. I think people can always tell you just to believe in yourself and to trust yourself, but it really has to come from within and going through the tough times and overcoming it to learn and grow from it. I think a good tool is just positive self-talk and also just not being too hard on yourself, which is a lot easier said than done, but when things do get tough, being able to have conversations with your coaches and your teammates and just being honest because they're always there to support you and for you to lean on them, so that's been really helpful for me. It's awesome. It's a privilege to be here with our team that we have this year, and just it's super fun and to compete against the top teams in the country and the top players. It's a really fun time and it's really exciting. I think just focusing on being me and not having to do anything crazy just because it's a bigger games or a bigger stage, and just focusing on what got me here and trusting that and trusting myself.
Some kids from Elmira, Ontario, happy about the 3 goals scored in that second period of play, and rough stuff on the ice, some rough stuff in the crowd as well. Stick around, the third period's coming up after this on CBC.
Partout au Canada, c'est une histoire qui se répète, née d'un amour pour un sport qui nous rassemble. Des patinoires du coin à la scène mondiale, nous avançons ensemble, avec chaque foulée, chaque arrêt et chaque rêve qui habite toute fille qui choisit le hockey. Parce que tous ces coups de patin nous propulsent. 1, 2, 3, Canada! Ensemble, vers l'avant.
territoire du Nord-Ouest, le berceau du hockey. On y trouve une communauté riche en histoire et en tradition que Quaker voulait surprendre avec une toute nouvelle cantine déjeuner Quaker dans son aréna. En plus d'offrir notre avoine canadienne à grains entiers, la cantine est maintenant l'endroit pour se rassembler, manger et célébrer. Nous sommes fiers d'alimenter la passion du hockey dans son village d'origine, parce que peu importe d'où tu viens, t'es capable.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
Beginning a program at university is an incredibly optimistic moment. Anything is possible. This is the time to enjoy learning, to enjoy figuring it all out, to learn things you never knew, and become someone you didn't think possible, beyond the expected, beyond your wildest dreams. Grow beyond.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
U Sports on CBC, presented by L'U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox 40, Thunderbirds Medical Supply, Les Bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome back inside the Woolwich Memorial Center. 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. Some fans waiting for puck drop that's coming up in just a couple moments, but they really liked what happened in that second period. We'll take a look at it here, Brianna.
Oh, this is how the scoring all started. Duchesneau with a beautiful pinch, maintaining puck control and making no mistake with the top shelf snipe to open up this scoring and give her team a 1-0 lead. And the bloodbath kind of just continued from there. Etier making a really nice play over to Montour for the second goal for Les Carabins to beat Huygens. And just when you think UBC is down and out, and Grace Elliott takes a shot off the knee, which did not look good for the Thunderbirds. Some nervy moments as she makes her way to the bench. Testing it out to see how it's going, giving it a bit of a shake. Is it a bit of a stinger? Do I just need to walk it off? And that's the case. She just needed to walk it off, and she came right back and took a beauty tip off a shot from Morris to give her team 1 goal and be 1 goal closer to tying up this hockey game.
Yeah, just a shot away now for UBC, who have the lead in shots after 40 minutes of play, 19-13, but the face-off wins continue to be critical. 24 for Montreal, 10 for the UBC Thunderbirds, both getting in the shooting lane 7-7. I don't think, though, that shot that hit Grace Elliott will count as a shot block, though, Brianna. The silver lining would be padding the stats, but I don't think so. Now down with head coach of the UBC Thunderbirds, Graham Thomas, is Carissa Duncan.
Graham, what does your team need to do to get back into this game?
I think we just got to stick to the process, just keep playing our game. We got a little away from our game, and weren't executing on some of the plays that we needed to do. And they're quick on their transition, and so we got to be smart on our changes and just managing the puck really well.
When you say you got away from your game a little bit, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think we kind of had 3 out of the 5 doing what they should be doing, and not all 5, and playing consistently. So we just need everybody back on the same page, playing the same way, and we'll be fine.
We did see Grace Elliott return in that period. You know, huge sigh of relief for Thunderbirds fans. What does she bring to this team?
For sure. Yeah, she's a competitor. She's going to go there and she's going to create. She's going to battle hard, and she's been doing it all year, and she's going to do it here in the 3rd period.
Best of luck in the rest of the game, Coach.
Thank you.
That was head coach Graham Thomas in his 14th season, the 2025-26 Fox 40 U Sports Coach of the Year. 2nd time winning the award, won it back in 2013 as well. And just needs everybody on the same page now, Brianna, for the 3rd period.
Yeah, everyone on the same page. Everyone needs to buy in. And he mentioned execution. So it's not just knowing the game plan and understanding it, but it's everyone executing it. He mentioned how sometimes 3 out of the 5 players would be doing it, but he needs all 5 individuals on the ice playing UBC hockey. And he mentioned how good Les Carabins are on the transition game. And so what that means for UBC is that they need to be smarter. They need to be smarter on the changes. They need to be smarter with how they manage the puck. And that's what they're looking to do during this 3rd period to try to even up this hockey game.
Les Carabins de Montréal, bronze medal winners back in 2024, are a period away right now from moving on to the medal round, to the semifinals. But UBC Thunderbirds, they're not done scoring yet.
No, and they have a prime opportunity still on the power play that straddled the intermission. So for just under a minute and a half, they have this opportunity to tie up this game. So Carabin going to have to be extremely good and tight on their PK.
Still in the box for the Carabins de Montréal, Juliette Roland. And that was a good zone entrance off that opening face-off from UBC, as they have it now along the wall. Thorpe will get it back on the near side. Plays down. Picked up. And trying to send that cross crease was Elliott, but that pass didn't connect. On the near side boards now, Thorpe. Good pressure from the Carabins down low, and now a loose puck in the right circle. Picked up by Wong, played to the far side. Thorpe back with it, will shoot. Big tip in front, but hit the skates of the Carabins defender, and it's cleared out. Through the neutral zone, Elliott has that puck poked away from her, and the Carabins should take their time with it. Etier motioning for the Carabins to keep possession of the puck. They decide to shoot it back down to the UBC zone. 20 seconds left to work with in this carryover power play. Ilona Markova, a Russian-born skater. Duchesneau below the goal line, trying to extricate that puck. Rhodes down there as well for UBC, and it's cleared out and down the ice, and that'll do it for the power play.
I really like that play by Duchesneau as well. She was hassled by 3 UBC players in total in that corner. Instead of just throwing the puck away, she maintained possession of it, turned each way to try to get a clear.
Oh, what a chip by Perry. Has Markova in the middle, and that goes off a stick and ricochets below the goal line. Markova on the near side board trying to win that puck back. Salem takes it away and now through the middle of the ice. And yes, that did look from the wrong side of the red line. No grace inches being given by the Lions officials, as that will bring the face-off back inside Montreal zone.
No, and it's a play like that where you really need to be so intentional with making sure that you get over the red line to avoid this defensive zone draw that they have now.
And UBC wins the face-off. Elliott swats that around to the near side boards. Schaefer off the boards, connecting with Elliott again. Pepler down low for Schaefer. Has Wong. Wong fending off a couple of checking Carabin sticks and still on it here. We'll fire that toward the net. Bouncing in front, Schaefer can't find the rebound. Cleaned up by Salem to the line, but not out. And Schaefer whiffs on the second clearing attempt. But finally picked back up by the Carabin. Dion will send it just into the neutral zone. Along the boards, Picard sends that in. Elliott will pick it up off the boards. And in the neutral zone, it's turned over. Nearly a chance for Prue from Roland. And Roland will pick this puck up at the top of the zone, but she's levied down to the ice. Elliott seems like she's been on the ice for this whole start of the third period, Brianna. Finally, she's heading off.
Oh, it does absolutely feel like that. She's kind of been all over the ice trying to do whatever she can. And it's possible as well that head coach Thomas is, you know, playing a little bit of player management right now too.
Well, what a move by Thorpe. She breaks in and scores! Morris, tie game!
That looked like a very innocent play, a very innocent rush by Morris, and it turned into a very deadly result. You see in the neutral zone here, Patience turning away, beating Bayat as she enters into the zone. Dipsy doodles around a couple of Carabin players and slides it underneath to beat DesRoches and tie up this game.
Jalen Morris, Canada West's top defensive player. 3 points in the Canada West playoffs, 2 goals against the Trinity Western Spartans, and has evened this game up at 2 in the third period. And the Carabin right back in on the attack. That was a great save made by Huygens. And now Sandilands back in for UBC. Swung around the boards. Markova in front, and that shot was blocked. On the near side board, Zinger. Sandilands shoots. And that puck sent over top of the net. Below the goal line, Markova. As Zinger on the near side. Markova spinning away from pressure, trying to find the front of the net. Markova, that puck will bounce to Zinger at the top of the zone. Shoveled back into the corner. Markova strong on her stick. Shovels that below the goal line for Rhodes to chase. Rhodes will backhand that into the slot, and it's cleared out. Needing to be careful with that puck is Carmen. Turned over in the neutral zone. Ledin stepping around Carmen. In to support is Baird. And we'll scrum along the boards.
Well, this is where you had all UBC players basically on one half of the ice. Had Lake Carabin been able to come up with that loose puck, they could have shifted it over to a wide open play on that right side. So that just goes to show the importance of that puck retrieval and that awareness on the ice.
Etier unable to find that puck, but Salem does. Looking to feed the blue line. It's poked past the point. Back to pick it up is Berger. Along the boards. Again, a scrum. And a 50-50 puck battle that's won by the UBC Thunderbirds. A pass in front. And that'll clear the zone. There's that almost no-looker. Cleared everybody in a white jersey.
Well, and it beat Berger initially because she was not on the defensive side of the puck. She got a little bit out of position, and that's why UBC was able to go and try to center that pass.
That puck is tipped in by Elliott. She'll range and after it, but a whistle sounds. Looks like the net is off, Brianna. So face off with 13:56 left to go, and DesRoches, despite the iffy record in the playoffs in the RSAQ through the first 2 periods, looked like a rush.
I see what you did there. That was nice.
But here, late in the second and early in the third, beaten by UBC, who are in on the attack again. Elliott, what a move, backhand toward the net. The rebound is lying there for Schaefer. Can't pick it up. Near side boards out of the corner. Rollon in her defensive zone. And played up through the neutral zone. Veillette angled off the puck. Schaefer gonna tie up her stick and that puck in front of the Montreal bench. We haven't had overtime yet in this tournament. These two teams looking very even throughout this entire matchup.
It does look, though, so far, at least in this third period, that it has tilted a little bit in terms of UBC. That is for sure.
Montreal ices the puck.
Just having another look at Elliott going in, what it seemed like against all of Lake Carabin, just not able to finish it. But again, a very lethal player for UBC.
And at 6'2", has such a long reach as that faceoff is won. Rhodes will test. That's swallowed up by Desroches. No traffic in front.
You know, we were talking just earlier, Desmond, when you mentioned that Desroches has had a solid couple of periods, and even in spite of the goals that she's allowed, she has looked very good. You still need to have your 5 players in front of you help you out, and on that Morris goal, there really was none of that support in front of her.
So looks like timeout has been called by the Montreal Carabins. Interesting junction in the game to call a timeout, but
you know what? I kind of like it actually for Lake Carabin, because for most of the game, what we were talking about, even what we noticed, is that it seemed like the Carabin were very much settled into their game. They were playing their game. They got those 2 quick goals. They seemed to very much command the level play that was happening. Now that UBC is turning the tide a little bit, I think head coach Isabelle Leclerc just wanted to settle the troops down a little bit. It can be very nervy moments, even though they can draw on past experience. They have veterans on the team to lend that experience as well. I don't mind her taking that timeout at this point in the game, almost halfway through the third, to just settle the team down, take a deep breath, enjoy the moment, get back to playing their game, stop turning pucks over, don't give them time and space. So I'm okay with that one. I kind of like it.
A vet call from the veteran coach of 18 years with the Carabins. Attended the University of Montreal, as that shot is high and swallowed up by Desroches. Isabelle Leclerc, a goalie for 20 years before stepping into coaching as well.
Just having another look at that shot that Desroches was able to gobble up with no rebound. And Markova's looking deadly. She's looking dangerous. She's been in and around the net. She's had some shots and
scores! Off the faceoff, the puck goes in and UBC has the lead.
So we're gonna have another look.
Markova, as you were saying, Brianna.
And that was right off the draw, and if I'm not mistaken, the Carabin player actually put it in the net instead of going around, and that's how it ended up going in.
My goodness.
That is not something you see every day. That is for sure.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That is a tough blow for Lake Carabin, but that's sport, and unfortunately sometimes that happens. It just rolled right off the stick, and Desroches not expecting that at all.
You can't fault her, of course.
We weren't expecting that. I don't think anyone was expecting that.
And that's the seal of a great goal scorer, Brianna. Sometimes you can score without ever touching the puck.
That is a fair point. That is impressive. I'm not sure how they determined to give it to Markova.
I think she was the last one to
honest.
touch the puck off the jaw, but if there were ever a time that you'd want to take a timeout as Montreal Carabins, it would be right now, but unfortunately they just took that timeout a few seconds before.
Regardless, that's a big break for UBC, and for Lake Carabin, they have to have a very short memory. There's still a lot of time in this game. It's unfortunate, but it happens. That's sport. It's now a test of how do you bounce back after an unlucky break such as that.
The Carabins, no strangers to bouncing back, had a tough start to the opening portion of the 2025-26 RSEQ season, but surged back at 6 straight wins against the defending U Sport champion Bishop's Gators in the regular season. And here find themselves down 3-2 in this quarterfinal with just over half the period to go, and leveled into the boards was Pepler after the whistle and after the icing by Roland.
Well, and you can tell there's absolutely some heightened emotions, and physicality is going to be even more elevated because of frustration.
And after another look, it didn't look like that much from Roland, just a bit of a shove, and as the UBC player was stopping, maybe caught an edge going into the boards.
It's the game within the game, Desmond.
100%.
Just one example.
You're a fan of that.
I am absolutely a fan of that. It makes for entertainment here, and that's what we're all about, right? Some good hockey, some game within the game. I'm here for all of it.
Off the face-off, 1 forward, a chance off the crossbar by Sandilands. How did she miss that? Wide open cage, and it stays at a 3-2 game.
That was a beauty pass over by Rhodes as well to Sandilands, and I think Desroches is going to give a nice pat to her crossbar for that one. That is a huge break for her as the net was extremely wide open.
Oh, wow.
Off the draw, and you saw just the wide open net. Desroches scrambling to get over, not able to, and it's the crossbar that bails her out. And we talked about the faceoffs and how the Carabins had been absolutely dominant. Well, UBC is creeping up in terms of being better in the dot, and that was just one example.
That's controlled by Montreal. As they bring that into the attacking zone. And turned over in the neutral zone. And tracking back is the Sage. Face-offs, 27-17 now. Montreal continues to lead, but UBC getting better as the game progresses in that category and in others on the ice. Picard takes a cross check from Sandilands, and it's thumped off the boards by UBC. Unable to clear the puck out though is Thorpe, and it's kept in again. Montreal, Prue on the near side, sending that down low, rounding the goal, a chance in front, scores! Tie game! Juliette Roland from the slot. And it's 3-3.
And that's the type of response that Les Carabins needed. And it was Jade Picard with the really beautiful pass to assist on that goal. You saw Prue put it down to the corner. And then Picard picked it up, patient, trying to find someone. And it ended up being Roland wide open in a sea of Thunderbirds. Connects for that pass and makes no mistake to beat Huygens to tie up this hockey game. And what a phenomenal response from Montreal.
And it's exactly what you needed, exactly what you said, Brianna. After that seemingly back-breaking play, they're right back into it. But so are the Thunderbirds on the attack, looking to win back the lead. Roland had 15 points in the regular season, goal and 2 assists in the RSEQ playoffs, and the biggest of her year here at Nationals. Pepler off the boards. Forward from Wong. UBC will curl back and try to regroup. Here's Wong, ahead of steam now over the blue line, and Schaefer offside. What a game in store. It's 3-3 Roland. Ecstatic for the Carabins.
U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Well, we've been talking throughout this tournament about players who have graduated from U Sports onto the Professional Women's Hockey League. Well, no school in Canada has produced more PWHL players to this point than Montreal. Catherine Dubois, Alexandra Lebel, and Kellyanne Nadeau all play for the Montreal Victoire and also competed for Les Carabins in University. And of course, Audrey Ann Voyette, who's on the ice today, was also drafted by Ottawa in the 2023 PWHL draft. Back to you in the booth.
Thank you very much, Carissa. Les Carabins would just see her get one on the board. As it's 3-3, just tied up moments ago from Roland. A beautiful setup in the slot. And with under 10 to go in this third period, the 1 seed UBC Thunderbirds against the 8 seed Carabins de Montréal. And as even of an ice surface as you'd like to see in a quarterfinal playoff game. Lesage, a couple bodies go down. Lesage stays on her feet and keeps the puck, and no arms up after those two collisions.
It was a very nifty pass to herself there on the back end was left for. She uses the boards to just bank it behind her to herself and trick the Thunderbird attacker.
Dethier in below the goal line, head up looking for a passing option. That's Picard on the near side, shooting off the blocker of Huguin. Salem couldn't pick up the rebound. Sandilands, who missed that wide open net about 5 minutes ago, will be kicking herself even more so now that Montreal has been able to tie this game up. The whistle will call play offside the call.
You know, we were talking earlier about the goal by Roland and how she was just in that perfect spot in the slot. It just goes to show that in your own defensive zone, especially on this type of stage in this type of game, you have to be so aware of where the players are on the ice. You can't afford to have someone be lost just as Roland was, because that is the consequence.
Shots 24-16 in favor of the UBC Thunderbirds. Wong tries to get that puck out, held at the blue line, and then crunched into was Picard, but she keeps the puck in play. Poked forward, Veillette trying to get onto the puck, and Wong, great job shielding off Veillette on the forecheck. Now down to the ice was Pepler. Prue trying to drag that around Schaefer, who stays right with her. She'll reverse. Here's Carmen. High off the glass, and Elliott at center ice. Bats it back inside the Montreal zone. Now poked forward, a chance on the far side for Bedard. He hasn't seen a lot of ice time in this game, and now on the far side of the ice, here come the UBC Thunderbirds again. Rhodes, unable to get it in deep at Markova, and now Rhodes again. On the puck with Sandilands going to the net. And Dion. Tied up along the boards. Sandilands looking to fish that puck out. And more players will come over.
And again, like Carabin having to be careful to stay on the defensive side, which they have, and they're able to get that pass behind the net to break out. Turnover.
Turned over. What a chance. Sandilands shooting, or Rhodes rather. And into the glove of Maud Desroches, keeping this at a 3-3 game.
It was a great play, like we had mentioned, to reverse the flow of pressure behind the net. And Lesage looking to feed one of her players, instead feeds the Thunderbird that's just sitting there waiting for that puck to hit her stick for a chance on Desroches, but Desroches square to it.
Fleming line out on the ice now as that shot is shoveled toward the net, and again Desroches will hold on to it.
The World is coming to London, Ontario this summer. Don't miss the 2026 FISU World University Rowing Championships from August 13th and 15th in partnership with Western University, Rowing Canada, and Tourism London. For more information, visit rowing2026.fisu.net.
Fleming will be waved out of the face-off circle against Lesage. in to take it. Here's Baird. Tied up in the circle, and Fleming trying to protect that puck. Baird to the corner. Here's Ledin. Drops that back to her defense, and on the near side, first to the puck are the UBC Thunderbirds. Salem, double pirouette, didn't know where the puck was. And now finds Picard. Up the near side boards, and Etier will be unable to beat up that icing call. Is going back for it. Fellow Carmen. And the UNB Reds watching on right now. Set to face off against the U Ottawa GGs at 7 p.m. tonight. At the blue line, Thorpe can't hold the line. Etier ranging it after the puck again. Icing waved off as it was tipped down the ice. Etier steals that puck away, but ran into her own player in Laloche. In the neutral zone. Nice spin away from pressure from Laforge. And sends the puck in deep. Here's Thorpe. Through the middle of the ice, but Morris will get there first for UBC, and Schaefer will hit the red line and send it in. Lesage, cross ice pass nearly picked off. And now the puck's in Elliott. One-on-one, Elliott drags it in on her backhand, and she can't get that through the five-hole of Desroches. As Elliott slides to the corner.
Oh, it's a nice try there by Elliott as it's passed up to her. She gets a nice little 2-foot pass, dipsy doodle around Lake Carabin. It was that reach that we were talking about earlier, able to corral that puck with one hand, but just couldn't pull it back with enough time to get a quality shot off.
Sandelin's in the face-off circle. It'll be one back by Lake Carabin. Good work from Couture in the dot. And played back into the neutral zone. Under 5 to go in this third period. Tied at 3 goals apiece, and we've had all sorts of goals being scored in this game. Elliott drops that back, and here's Carmen to pick it up. Up the near side, misses that pass to Rhodes, and that'll slide all the way down the ice. And although Rhodes was steaming down, the whistle does go for icing.
On Rhodes again. I get why she wasn't happy with that one, because it really looked like she won that foot race, especially after Picard hit something on the ice. But regardless of Rhodes thinking she won that foot race, it is back in the UBC zone for icing.
Big face-off here in the attacking zone for Montreal. Salem out of the dot, nearly won that right to Etier. The UBC stick got in the way. Rhodes through the middle of the ice. Good step up in the neutral zone. Laforge, now Salem right in, shooting. That went off the leg of Carmen and took a bite out of her. Markova shovels that puck into the middle. Nice pass. There's that shot from distance. Sandelin's testing, and that's no problem at all for Desroches.
Under 5 minutes left to go in this third period. Every chance is that much more important and exciting as we see Salem walking in, streaking right through the middle down Main Street for a shot opportunity on Huggins, but Huggins denies.
Face off in the right circle. Waiting for it, and it comes back to Morris. Morris, a couple of nice moves, trying to get away from Veillette. Morris still going. Thorpe following up and gets it back to Morris. And then Morris down low. Elliott knocks the puck around the top line, looking for the go-ahead goal late in the third period. Picard, trouble with the puck as she's double-teamed by Elliott and Schaefer. And Schaefer's on the puck here for UBC. Shot from the blue line, punched out by Desroches. Prou unable to clear it out. It's caught up in the equipment.
Good job by Roland, recognizing that there were already too many of her own players there, so she came out a little bit further to stay defensive side.
Trying to poke that forward as Wong trying to find Elliott. And Picard got in the way of that. Nice pass to the near side, Roland. A nice move to get around one, and now breaks in 1-on-3. swarms of Thunderbirds around her and couldn't do too much with that. And now played through the middle of the ice. The Thunderbirds in on the attack. Chop back to the blue line. Gonna walk in with a shot. Punched up, big rebound. And it's in the corner. Nice move at center ice as it's brought in by Laforge. Dropping that for Montour. She's checked. And it's played past Healy.
There's a nice rush coming from Laforge, but has to be very careful in terms of the decisions with the puck. 2 feet inside the blue line and outside the blue line is not exactly where you want to give up a turnover at this point in the game.
Second line going to work for the UBC Thunderbirds. Perrier. Playing that down low. Sandlin's trying to find it at center ice. Monteau trying to split two. She'll have to take on two here. Waiting for a cross ice option that never comes, so she tests the short side. And Sandlins gets past a couple, and Baird waiting for it in the middle. Never comes to her. And now Salem. Taken to the far boards and cleared down the ice by UBC.
Markova hard on the forecheck here on Picard, still hanging on and gets help in the form of Etier.
On the forecheck as Markova has been all game long. And Etier gets away and is in on the attack. Etier gets Thorpe to turn. Rounds the far side of the net looking for a passing option. Finds Lesage shooting and that goes wide. Schaefer will pick it up for UBC and plays it through the middle of the ice. Up to Markova. Markova shot is gloved down by Maud Desroches. A minute 18 left to go in this third period as we inch closer and closer to our first overtime period of the tournament.
Well, and you had a Carabin opportunity at the one end where you saw 2 UBC players trying to dive to actually get into the shooting lanes, and then you had Markova with the opportunity the other way, and I feel like Markova had like a 3-minute shift. I feel like she'd been on forever
yes.
on that sequence, and just so many chances on both sides. Have a look. Here's that the beautiful play by Morris for her goal that ended up beating Desroches, and Gervais with the puck that accidentally put it in her own net, and giving credit though to Markova. And lastly, Roland with that tie, and just excitement throughout this entire period to bring you up to speed on where we're at now after coming back from a timeout that was taken by UBC.
Yeah, Montreal took their timeout with about 13 minutes left to go in the third period. That own goal was scored right after that, but they didn't need one. Roland and the entire roster took it upon themselves to clear that, have short goldfish memory, and tie the game at 3. And now that's poked past the blue line, and Veillette surging in after the puck. Thorpe had to be careful with Veillette bearing down on her. As the puck just squeaks out over the blue line. And on the surge is Wong. Great stick check as she battles for the puck in the corner. Wong down to the seat of her pants, but gets right back up and joins the fray. Colon as the puck floats to the middle of the ice. And in the neutral zone, 45 seconds remain in this third period of play. Next shot wins.
There's a good step up there by Lesage at the blue line.
Sandilands cross ice feed in front, and what a stick by the Carabin in front of the net, and now that's poked down the ice, but Roland won't be able to beat out Morris, but Roland still dogged on the puck. Runs into the back of Morris and hits the ice, 20 seconds to go. Elliott bearing down on the puck, but didn't have the speed on that far flank. One last dash up the ice for Montreal. Captain at the blue line, Picard shooting, and that flyby attempt to tip by Etier went wide. And with 6 seconds to go, Pepler will play that around the boards, and we are heading to overtime. And I can't think of a better game than this to head to a sudden death period.
Well, it's been end-to-end action throughout the entire 60 minutes that we've seen here, and both teams making adjustments, both teams being resilient and being able to bounce back. And there was a late opportunity here as Sandilands had it, tried to find her teammate in front. It was a phenomenal defensive play coming from LaForge to ensure that Grace Elliott could not connect.
A bit of contact with Desroches through the blue paint as Elliott was surging toward the net. Wasn't able to cash. So the overtime rules for U Sports women's hockey at Nationals, it'll be 10 minutes, 4-on-4. And if nobody scores through those 10 minutes, we will head to a shootout. But you hope that in a game that's been so tightly contested as this one, that it ends up ending in regulation.
Well, and both teams are going to have to be very smart with the puck. They're going to have to be very aware on the ice. Both teams have had instances where they've lost opposing players in the fray. That cannot happen here. There's a lot of open ice that you don't normally have as much of during 5-on-5, but that doesn't mean that you completely change your game plan. Both coaches we've heard from how they want their teams to stick to the plan, stick to playing their game. Both coaching staffs drawing up plays on the whiteboard to make sure that their troops know what to do during this overtime period. But again, both teams have a lot of speed, both teams have a lot of skill. It's puck management that's really going to be the key during this 4-on-4 overtime period in here, and making sure that they're minimizing turnovers, being smart, and capitalizing when they have an opportunity.
You can't let anything go by in a 10-minute 4-on-4 period. The UBC Thunderbirds, first in the Canada West, the Canada West champions, their 8th time qualifying for Nationals. Did so in 2025 as well, but their last medal in 2017, they won bronze. 2023, pardon me, and in 2017. And for the Carabins, Jim Montreal, this is their 12th time qualifying for Nationals, and won bronze back in 2024. As 4-on-4 overtime, we're prepped and ready, Brianna, and these two teams are as well. 3-3 through 60 minutes of play, but that wasn't enough to settle the score. Next goal wins. And for a shot at the semifinals. And the Carabins possession off the draw, controlled by Prou. Back into the middle, Picard, watched by Markova. And Picard will send that to the boards. Roland pinned to the boards by Morris, but still on the puck. Markova into support. And Markova will drop that back, but turns it over. Roland on the near side, tries to pick it short side, and that was too much for asking, as she sent that a couple feet high of the net. Picard right back in. We'll shovel that down low, looking for Gervais. Right around the boards. Elliott will get there first in her defensive zone, and UBC, this their first opportunity with a minute gone in overtime to really start an advance down the ice, but Salem is making that hard.
I mean, I like the way Wong used the net as a barrier, didn't force anything, didn't like what she saw initially, turned back and started over again.
Now into the zone is Rhodes. She's taken down to the ice. We'll play on. Rhodes still on the puck, plays it back to the blue line. Thorpe on the near side, shooting. That's stopped by Desroches and cast to the corner. And behind the net, Laforge spinning away from pressure. And Lesage across to the far side. Salem through the neutral zone. Here's Laforge in over the line. Laforge still on it, on her back end, down low, shot in front, rebound in front, and Huggins able to swallow that up on the doorstep for the Carabins.
Oh, and what an opportunity. There was a nice no-look backhand pass, as you saw Laforge do that backhand to Veillette, try to hit her, did not get as much of a shot up as she would have liked. And then Laloche could not elevate it over Huggins.
He raised that pad up just a little bit as she was belly first on the ice. And we'll play on in overtime with 2 minutes gone in the frame. Morris up the far side, hits the blue line and will surge in herself. Ledin strips her of the puck. Picard Sends it up to Veillette on the near side boards. Through the middle, what a chance! In on goal, Etier shoveled off the puck, but still on it. But the angle was taken away from her. What a defensive play.
That was a huge defensive play coming from Perrier, and again, making sure that she impacted Etier enough without taking a penalty as well. So really key play there coming from Perrier.
Fleming ahead of steam on the far side as she breaks in. Fleming will round the goal, but it's taken off her stick by Laforge. Below the goal line, trying to fish that puck out is Elliott. And Prue has none of that, but still has a lot of work to do. UBC clogging up that exit, but she does very well to get the puck out. And now in over the line, here's Roland. The 3-3 tying goal, hacked down at center ice. We're gonna play on here, whistles and pockets. Up the near side boards, here's Elliott. Drags it below the goal line, Elliott trying to shovel that in front, puck in her skates, trying to protect it. Roland steals that away from her in the corner. Roland though, plays it right back into Elliott's path. But Montreal regroups for a moment in their own zone. Good pressure from Sandilands. Laforge, no problem with that. Plays it up the near side, chipped down the ice by Laloche. Angled off just enough by Thorpe. And Rhodes plays it across. Here's Wong.
And again, I like Wong again, going behind the net, not forcing anything, not rushing anything, waiting for the play that she wants.
Up the near side boards. Great job by Picard in the neutral zone to stand up her player. And Morris gets away from two, but can't beat Picard. As now with numbers, here come the Carabins on the far side. That shot is shoveled through from Picard. And wasn't too much of a test for Huygens, but she did well to put it into the corner.
Well, I'm not surprised to see Picard up there. She's had a number of game-winning goals throughout the regular season as well as the playoffs, and she's looking to get one here, I think, as well to help her team continue moving on.
Here's Markova at center ice. Zinger's pass too far for Thorpe. And regrouping is Zinger just in the neutral zone. Here's Thorpe now. Over the blue line for UBC. He has Markova on the far side, but can't find her as she's converged on quickly by Lesage. Adrienne Veillette tying things up on the near side, but it's pulled off the boards. Here's Zinger trying to bring that puck in. Let's see it calmly. Away from her. Now Laforge. Back up on the near side. Over half the overtime period gone already. And over the blue line are the Carabins. Duchesneau, who opened the scoring here this afternoon, plays it back up top to the blue line. Picard on the near side boards. Swatted out by Markova. And it is sent out into the neutral zone.
There's good pressure there brought on by Markova, and we've seen that from her the entirety of the game, so no surprise that she's continuing that trend here in overtime.
Markova. By Picard. Markova will take her time behind the net and plays that up. Morris lost it in her skates, but Elliott has it now, and it's stripped of her at the blue line. Picard all over the ice and now into the attacking zone. Winds up and fires. Rebound chance off the pad of Huygens. She'll wrap it around as she gets a third chance. And the rebound played in front, and it'll be picked up by Rhodes.
What a good job there by Picard. She started it with that step up and continued for not just one shot, but the rebound too.
These one player rushes up the ice by UBC are being absolutely thwarted by Le Carabins every time they hit the line.
Well, and this is where an adjustment needs to come into play. If you've tried going up by yourself, maybe you let the puck do the work and get it moving.
A chance here to make that adjustment as Sandilands has it now. Over the logo, and it's stripped of her in the neutral zone by Roland. Now Montreal with 3:15 to go in overtime.
Carabins are being harassed here behind the net.
Great work by Sandilands below the goal line as Laforge is forced to pin that puck to the boards. Picked out by UBC. Sandilands trying to get on it. Played in front, and that pass for Thorpe is picked off by Laloche, trying to get the outside lane from Thorpe. Carmen has to be careful here. Plays it back up top. And luckily for UBC, goes right to Sandilands. Thorpe has to be careful. Has Salem all over her. And Thorpe will send it back to Carmen, the 5th year out of Barton, Nova Scotia. Wait for the Brown University Bears, the NCAA did Carmen. And now through the neutral zone, here come the T-Birds again. On the far side, has a player in the middle for Morris. And she couldn't pull the trigger, had her stick tied up. And now back the other way. A chance for Gervais, but puck too far for her.
Well, he had a massive back check earlier coming from Etier to make sure that there was no attempt on Desroches.
And Etier steals that puck away along the near side boards, tries to drag it through the middle, and that goes off a stick, then up and into the mesh. Is that our first whistle of overtime?
It very well might be, actually, as we're going to have another look at the big Kyle Rush. She made a phenomenal defensive play in her own zone, takes it up herself into the UBC zone, took a clapper, and then beat Wong to the rebound and got that second opportunity as well.
Off the face-off to the left of Hugans. It's controlled by the Thunderbirds. Under 2 to go in overtime as Zinger brings the puck up through the neutral zone. Zinger around Dion. Into the attacking zone, now into the corner. Down to Pinches. Thorpe pulls it off the wall. Thorpe trying to shoot. That was blocked by Lesage. Thorpe again, and that goes off of Laforge.
And right now you have Lesage without a stick as she picks it up just now, luckily for Les Carabins.
Elliott back up top to the blue line. Thorpe plays it across. Here's Zinger. 1:25 to go in overtime. And a wrestling match and a penalty upcoming, and if you're Elliott, give them the puck. And she'll do just that as it's touched up by Les Carabins. And a huge power play upcoming in overtime for UBC, as heading to the box is Megan Lesage.
Oh, that's a tough one to go and take in overtime, as we're going to have another look. UBC very much controlling the puck in the zone as Lesage dumps the UBC player to the ice, and the official was right there in position. There's no way they're not calling that one overtime or not. That was too blatant to avoid calling.
Their 5th penalty taken of the game for Montreal. UBC will be a huge chance to cash on the power play to move on to the semifinals. Thorpe trying to keep that puck in at the line. Morris in as well, and it's cleared out by Prue.
Good first clear coming for Les Carabins. And what's important for UBC is to make sure that they get the puck moving, get Les Carabins out of position on their triangle, and Carabins are really going to have to communicate, making sure that they're getting in shooting lanes, they're jumping on loose pucks, and they are making sure they're not giving any opportunities.
And across Morris, walking in downhill. That shot is blocked. The rebound comes to the captain, Wong. Morris again shooting over top of the net. 40 seconds left to go in overtime. Here's Thorpe, plays it across to Wong. Left circle, surveys the options. Thorpe shooting, stopped in front. And the puck will be cleared 200 feet by Les Carabins.
Good couple blocks coming from the penalty killers. You can hear the stick taps coming from the bench, encouraging their players as they're killing this off and playing a very tight triangle.
Turned over by UBC. Duchesneau and Les Carabins in possession right now. And with 10 seconds to go, maybe one last final gasp for the UBC Thunderbirds. Elliott has that roll under her stick with 2 seconds to go. Floated toward the net. Wong was there. 70 minutes is not enough to settle this one, Brianna. We are heading to a shootout.
And even that overtime period, just back and forth action, some nervy moments for Les Carabins. Lesage had gone to the box for a penalty, and just UBC unable to convert on a 4-on-3 opportunity. So it will be decided by a shootout.
And in the men's tournament last year, you saw quite a long overtime game. I think, was it 5 periods of overtime?
5 overtime
the first game of the tournament.
First game, it started off on a great foot. It was a lot of excitement, just as there's so much excitement here as you see both coaches determining who will be their shooters.
So it's a best of 3 in the shootout. like in the NHL or in the PWHL, best of 5 scoring. And they're going to do a coin toss to determine who wants to shoot first.
You see the conversation between Wong and Ducheneau as well as the officials determining just that. And you know, both teams have to be so proud of themselves and the game that they've played. It's a game of inches, and that's exactly why 70 minutes was not enough, and it has to be determined by a shootout.
Elise Huggins, the goaltender for the UBC Thunderbirds. Stopping a team of 22 shots. It will be Montreal to shoot first, and Laforge will be the opening shooter for Les Carabins. 10 points in the regular season, and this will be Huggins' first test. Laforge, backhand, just set wide. Huggins, good challenge at the top of the blue paint.
Good challenge. It almost seemed like Laforge took too wide of her turns, didn't really get Huggins out of position the way she wanted to as she pulled over to the backhand. There was no net to shoot at there, so good job by Huggins.
And who else to shoot first for the UBC Thunderbirds? Grace Elliott, the U Sports Player of the Year a year ago. U Sports All-Canadian this year, Canada West Player of the Year, first team All-Star and top scorer. Grace Elliott to take the lead in the shootout. Cuts wide, and again, Desroches this time stays right with her.
You know, and very similar actually to the path that Laforge had taken for Les Carabins, just going the other way on the strong side instead. Just ran out of real estate, tried to do her move a little bit too tight.
Next to shoot is Veillette. Adrienne Veillette cutting wide, now back into the middle, scores! What a move by Adrienne Veillette. And she gives her team the lead in the shootout.
Oh, that's where that veteran experience comes in. Not the first penalty shot she's taken, that's for sure. Gave herself enough room to pull it back to that forehand after faking, brought Huggins down to elevate the puck and put it in the net.
And now it's a must score for Karine Sandelins in on Desroches. Sandelin scores! And will play on in the shootout.
Huge goal there for Sandelins for her team to tie this shootout up. Did a good job coming in. Took a little bit of a fake, didn't choose to go very wide at all, and instead chose to just pick her corner.
Now Jade Picard to shoot, one of our players to watch in this afternoon's game. Picard, backhand, scores! Sneaks that past Huggins. And again, Montreal with the lead in the shootout.
You know, we were talking about Picard earlier in this segment, just how much of a clutch player she can be, and she took a fake. Huggins didn't bite. It looked like she bobbled it, but then she pulled it to the backhand and put it in.
Cassidy Rhodes must score to keep this alive for UBC. Can't do it! A huge upset in the 2026 U Sports Women's Hockey Championships. The 8th seed Carabins de Montréal defeat the 1 seed UBC Thunderbirds in the shootout and will move on to the semifinals.
Wow, and this is sport for you. I mean, both teams have to be so proud of their performances. Obviously, UBC looking for a different outcome, but Les Carabins and Montreal coming out on top with Adrienne Veillette scoring in the shootout and Jade Picard scoring to elevate them into the semis. What a phenomenal game between these two teams.
And such resilience she showed, and you see the handshake between the two coaches, both with so much pedigree behind them and respect for each other. Graham Thomas, 14 years coaching the UBC Thunderbirds. Montreal, Isabelle Leclerc, 18 years. And there's always one upset, at least one upset in U Sports. And this is it.
Well, I was going to say, we were talking before the game, you know, you have the first seed going against the 8th seed, and UBC being the heavy favorites coming into this tournament because of their performance throughout the year and the depth that they have throughout their roster. But at the end of the day, it's one game, and anything can happen in one game. As bad as it sounds, it does not matter what you have done during the year. It does not matter what you've done during the playoffs or the road you took to get here, because it all starts fresh. And that's exactly what happened here during this game between these two teams. And it's a question sometimes of who wants it more, and Les Carabins wanted it.
A lot of cheers, a lot of Carabins faithful in attendance in Elmira, Ontario, as they take it 4-3 in the shootout. The Nike Player of the Game presentations upcoming in a couple of moments. 7 times the Carabins have medaled at nationals, and UBC won't get the chance to do so this year. Sandilands, who had that open net in the 3rd period, and you have to think that that will be playing through her head.
There were missed opportunities on both sides, and that's why we ended up going to overtime and eventually the shootout. And it's tough to lose in a shootout.
Yeah.
It's one of the toughest ways to lose, and I feel for the UBC Thunderbirds. I truly do, especially the individuals who are graduating, and this is how their season pretty well ends in a way. They're still going to have an opportunity to play for consolation, but not the game that they were looking to be a part of.
And for Elise Hugans, the 5th year, and Sandilands also a 5th year in this program. Annalise Wong, Maya Healy, Grace Elliott will not have the chance to medal in this year's round. And now it's time for the Nike Player of the Game presentations.
Please welcome David Parker from AMI Attachments. La joueuse du match, the Nike Team Player of the Game from the UBC Thunderbirds. Défenseur defense, number 5, Jalen Morris.
Jalen Morris, first team All-Canadian.
Your Nike Team Player of the Game.
A Maple Ridge, BC product is the Nike Player of the Game for the UBC Thunderbirds.
Et la joueuse du match Nike, the Nike Team Player of the Game from Montreal, de les Carabins, défense, defense, number 27, Jade Picard.
Jade Picard said her name a lot over this broadcast, is the Nike Player of the Game for the victorious Carabins de Montreal, with a 2nd goal in the shootout, the game-winning goal in the shootout, and an unbelievable effort all around.
Oh no, absolutely super deserving of that honor was Picard. And again, she was in the defensive zone doing her job, the neutral zone, the offensive zone. How many times did we see her, Desmond, way down in the corners in the UBC zone? And she wanted this for her team. She had 7 shots on goals registered during this game, and what a way to cap it off during the shootout with the winning goal for her team.
Yeah, that was a great goal. The goal that snuck past Hugans, you have to feel for her on that one, but it's a skill competition, and you see the grief on one side, the joy on the other as Pepler steps off the ice. Another 5th year for the UBC Thunderbirds. She'll have the chance to play for 5th, but it's not what they were looking for, is coming in as the 1 seed.
And on the other end of things, you have Les Carabins riding such a high with this victory, but it's going to be that quick turnaround where they're going to have to move forward from this and be ready to go for the next matchup.
So we'll send it down now to Carissa Duncan with the Nike Player of the Game, the goal in the shootout, Jade Picard.
Simple question for you to start. How does it feel? Awesome. It's the best feeling ever. We stuck to the game plan, and even if we got tied up back after an advance, it was awesome. we got it till the end.
Tell me about the resilience of your team in this one.
Oh, sure. We needed a lot of resilience for sure. When we were up for 2 goals and then they came back 2-2, it shows lots of resilience. We stuck to the game plan, believed in ourselves, and that's where we ended up.
What lessons will you take from this one as you head to the semifinals?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
What lessons will you take from this one as you head to the semis?
Oh, to play 60 minutes, we have to keep playing for 3 periods. Even like 2 minutes that we're off of our game, it can cost us a lot. So we've got to play for 60 or 70 minutes in that case.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Carissa Duncan with the Nike Player of the Game, Jade Picard, talking about playing a full 60 or 70 minutes in this case, because there were some times during the game where she might have felt that Montreal took their foot off the gas a little bit, allowing UBC to get those 2 tying goals, but they found the way, nonetheless, to get the job done in the shootout.
Well, and it's normal, again, it's hard to play a full 60 minutes, and that's where those mistakes can happen and the other team capitalize, and that's exactly what Picard was talking about. Moving forward, we have to play a full game of hockey. We have to capitalize on opportunities. We have to minimize the opportunities given to the other team, and so that's one of the lessons she mentioned that they are going to be taking moving forward into that next matchup. But you know, you could just see the excitement on her face as we take another look at the shootout. You have Adrienne Veillette with a beautiful deke, forcing Hugans to come down, and then of course Jade Picard with that winner.
And Deroche with the save in the shootout as the Carabins take it 4-3. We'll take a look at the now updated championship bracket. Guelph and Concordia moved on yesterday to the semifinals, and on Saturday to join them is the Montreal Carabins. They will play the winner of our 4th quarterfinal game coming up tonight at 7 p.m. UNB and Ottawa. And the UBC Thunderbirds will drop to the consolation bracket. Waterloo defeated yesterday by their OUA conference rival Guelph Griffins, and Manitoba as well dropping to Concordia yesterday. And UBC joining them, and will face either UNB or Ottawa in the consolation semifinals. So the best they can do now is 5th, but the Carabins will be moving on to the semifinals. Join us for our next broadcast featuring the U Ottawa GGs and the UNB Reds. That's coming up tonight at 7 p.m. That's going to be one you do not want to miss. The GGs, the Macaw Cup runners-up, and the Reds, the AUS champions. So on behalf of Brianna Newell, our entire U Sports crew here in Elmira, Carissa Duncan, I'm Desmond Thomas. 4-3 the win in the shootout for the Carabins de Montreal.
Sports on CBC, presented by l'U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada. Nike, Fox Sporty, Veraburn Medical Supply, Les Bagues Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by Miller Waste Systems.